Torah tells us in Parshas Noach, the famous story, the saga, the story of Noach, which transpires over the Kufa. And Noach is somebody Nobody knows is somebody who the Bnei Shalom finds Chaim, and so if Parshas Noach Matzah Chaim B'nei Hashem, he finds Chaim B'nei Hashem. The whole generation is warped. The generation is corrupt. The generation has to be wiped out. Kate's called Bosav Olafanai. The Bnei Shalom decides to wipe out a whole world. And Noach is saved. By Noach Motzah Chaim B'nei Hashem, he finds favor in Hashem's own. And yet, this great Noach, that the Torah calls him Eile Toldos Noach, Noach ish Sadik Tomim Hayah B'Doraisa. He was an ish Sadik Tomim. The Targum says Zakai Shlim. He was a Tzadik Gomor. And yet we find that at the end of the parsha, when he comes out of the teva, Noach goes through something so demeaning, embarrassing, something that has an effect on his future. And Noach ends up with a very disappointing situation. His son does something very crazy to him. And the transformation in the parsha from Noach's being ish sadik tomim, being somebody who was standing the temptation of his generation, that everybody in the generation was doing the worst of acts. The Noach Motzah Chaim, Noach ish sadik tomim hayah b'Doraisa. So what happens to Noach? The pasuk says, very interesting. In the beginning, after he comes out of the table, the pasuk says, "Vayochel Noach ishu adoma vayitachor." And Noach, the man of the ground, comes out vayochel. But here means he started. But the Pashataish, the literal try, he started, and he plants a korem, he plants a vineyard. Chazal tell us that this Vayochel has much more deeper meaning to it. Osa atzmoi chulin. He made himself chulin, unholy. Meaning, the Torah had to be koiris on him. Shahoy lo la'asoi k'tchila b'netiya acheres. he should have started with a Tiferes. Diuk in Rashi Rabbi said, the taina of Noach is nish that he planted a carrot. Yain is a very, very choshev azach, Rabbi said. Don't get me wrong. The yain is samach lever avenosh. Yain is something that we use to express our simcha. You're supposed to drink wine, ain't simcha lebasa yain. Yain is something that a person, that a person in a certain situation. The time over here is not the planting of the camp itself. The time, according to Rashi, is Vayochel, the start of the planting, to start with planting the carrot. That is the time. Maybe we can be Ma'azber Rabbi said. The Svara Rabbi said. Yokor speaks. That's Hebech HaKdusha because Yain brings the Erva, and Erva is Ikadusha. You want to say maybe a Nocha Knech over here. What happened in the door of Noach Rabbi Yisai is something mamish not to be believed. I mean, Adam HaRishon was Yitzias Kappa Shel HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Hagam did a chet, he ate from the Eitz Hadas, and it was a terrible chet because it was machnis the Yetzer Hara ibifnim before the Yetzer Hara was outside. But more so, there was a certain corruption that was nichtas into the goof of an Adam when he ate for the Eitz Hadas. There was a certain perversion of the truth, of the truth of what something really is. Beis Halevi has a little bit more arichas in that in Parshas Noach, we once spoke. But the Yisroel the Dover Rabbi says that Adam HaRishon accessed this koyach of being mishtar with the Yetzer Hara and perverting his mind in a way that now a person might not think 100% straight. Elokim Bas Adam Yashar. A person was created with Yashrus. Yashrus means straightforwardness, clear-headedness, a mind that thinks in a correct and straightforward way to come to the truth. When he ate from the Eitz Hadas, there was a perversion in his mind now to see things in a perverted way, in a way of Cheshbonis Rabbi. And now the fight became even harder. To have that battle. But the problem now became that in the Seichel of Adam, there was a certain called Bilbul. The Gemara tells us, Chazal tells us in Chagiga, on the day Adam HaRishon was able to see Misoifa Oilam Yad Soifa, Rabbi said. Mistama, the literal taich, is MS. Adam HaRishon was a Meish Kavoya, his height was, but there was a Mistama, a different Kavanah also to that. To see Misoifa is that he was able to have a clarity, 100% clarity in the MS of a Zach. There was no bilbul, there was no unclarity, there was no mokoi for mistakes. Obviously there was a little, but he had such clarity, there was no mokoi. The reason why Yetzer Hara is so in because we put the Yetzer Hara and now we have a bill, we don't see clearly. There's a certain choshech. The Marisha had an or to see clearly. The tinoik, when it says b'mei imai, it's learned with the mouth. Beroya also misayt. They see there's an or, there's a specific or. We come out of the Avra Olam, we're zapped with the Eitzahara, and we lose that clarity of Seichel, we lose that that clarity to be able to see good. We have a certain Choshech. In Mei Imai, it's Kuloi Or. Or the Barishu Karim Achet was Kuloi Or. There was no Mokum of Choshech, of unclarity, uncertainty. There was a very big clarity of what he had to accomplish, what his purpose. Azoy Malach. It's humid. It was a small mokoim, but the clarity was not shy. And when Arisha ate from the Eitz Hadas, it was nichlas into him a certain chishbonis rabbin. Now things became a little mavulbul, a little unclear. Noach came into a world with this characteristic trait of unclarity, of bilbul hadas, had gone to an extreme. It started as a small crack in the Seichel HaAdam, and it developed into a massive hole. It developed into a real bilbo. So much so, Rabbi side, that the Chazal tell us that the generation had come to a matzav that they were interacting with animals, not just one. The whole generation was b'einon minon. Al pi seichel, al pi yas seichel hayosher, in the most poshut way, man is above animals. Man doesn't mate with animals. In a sick world, in a world of craziness, in a world where the das has become so mavulbul, in that world, things just go from worse to worse, to extra worse. And people don't know what to do themselves anymore. They become so crazed to become traded that they start, they get married to a horse. I wonder what the Masada Kedusha looks like. He starts off the ceremony, no horsing around right now. This is a serious thing. Array at, horse, stick out your leg. Hey, say hey. Hey. Anyway, horse, stick out your leg. Okay, array at, I don't know if it's an ad or a dog, whatever it is. No, the horse rings. Hurry up, tabazu. No, it goes good. The horse rings. Anyway, Bikitza, you get one of those things with the horse legs. Horses, what's going on? How can a person believe that? We're not talking to people close to other people. The terrances, people became crazy. People became absolutely crazy. Absolutely insane. And we're living in a generation today, it's not. Hashem Yirachim, you go out there, what's going on out in the world today, it's mamish insane. People don't understand. It's real, just pushing normalcy. Everything's abnormal. If you think normal, you're abnormal. If you think like a crazy man, then you're a normal person. Mamish craziness. Craziness. People are living with animals, mating with animals. They can bark mitzvahs for animals. Whole ceremonies, of what I say, absolutely insane. Put on a yarmulke on a dog. I said, what's wrong with what's going on? A keep on the door with a talus. Barakuu! They try to train him to lead the Ma'ariv service. Also, the mitzvah boy usually leads the Ma'ariv service. A bark mitzvah. It's insane, and everybody's celebrating there. The dog doesn't know what's happening there. He has this thing on his head, and can only put a yarmulke on his head. It's absolutely insane. But people come to the ceremony, there's printed invitations. Sally's bar mitzvah. Oh, it's girl. Kasha. Tishbi Yutaris Kushish Yubadis. The land to this Kasha also. Hashem Yirachim Rabbi. I'm waiting for the day there's going to be a shul. They have shuls for all different types today. There's going to be a shul for animals. Rabbi Bert, tall German shepherd, stands up for the sermon. Gets up on his foot. That was a good say. The rabbi spoke very stark today. Absolutely insane. We live, people are living a life with this thing. They're living in this world and they're celebrating. And what happened to the mind of Mosai? The human being is the most intellectual, most highest being of us. And here he is. Here he is lowering himself to marry dogs and cats and who knows what of Mosai. It's Shiloh because in America you only have one wife. I think it was a different species. I think you'd have a community to a goldfish and then a turtle. The kid's up. He has a whole harem. Turtle, his this, cat, his dog. Hashem Yirachim, Hashem Yirachim. And it becomes normal. It becomes normal. People are living these fantasy things of us in a world of craziness. And we're celebrating different things that are going on in the world that are for crazy people of us. The world, man, we spoke about many years ago. The world mourned. I remember I was flying into LA at that time to go fundraise. Coming to LA, everybody was in a sad mood. They were down. Everybody was down. Millions of people were mourning of us. Some maniac, mamish total. Everybody knew. He didn't know. We don't know if he was a man or when he was a man. Then he was a woman. Then he went back to a man. He was going back and forth like we eat pizza. And he was a famous singer. The whole world was going into mourning over a guy. What did he do? He committed suicide, the guy himself. This the world was following. This is they're looking up to. They don't know what it is. And they're mourning his death. A person of a total meshugana, who committed meshugana. Not just it's a madrega in Meshugas. The highest madrega in Meshugas. Avia voice on Meshugas. And the world is mourning this person. I can't even say his name, Beis Medrash. But why? Because he's a good singer at this, whatever it is, it's a pellet that goes out of it, but he's an absolute maniac. And people following different people that are totally mamish. Everybody knows the guy's he's on stuff. That his mind is somewhere else. And what's the point of us? That because there's no clarity of seichel. Seichel has become so bevulged. Mida connected Mida. There was a bilbul hadas of Boisai. What's the Yisroel of the mabul? Lomakor mabul shedubel asakol. There was a bilbul hadas of Boisai, a complete bilbul hadas. Because Rosh showed Mida connected Mida in the punishment was a mabul. A mabul melashon bilbul. Everybody ended up going to Bavel because it was a bilbul. There was totally mass insanity. So Kodesh Baruch made a mass insanity. He destroyed everything. Everything was mabul. Everything became. There was no world anymore. A bilbul. Lashon mabul. That was the seed. And Noach lived through this times of Boisai. And Noach was able to hold strong and not fall in and not become corrupt and to be a guy sitting there for 120 years banging away at a teva. Because God told him to build a teva. Everybody around him is making fun of him, trying to put into his mind that he's the crazy man. This guy's the crazy man. This guy's walking with his new wife, the German shepherd, and he's calling Noach a crazy man. Look at that man building an ark. He thinks God's going to do anything in the world. What do you say about it? What does that mean? Anyway, they're looking at, and Noach's holding strong. God told me, and he's taking animals into the table. They're laughing. What are you doing? We have a zoo in the Bronx. We don't need it inside. What are you doing, crazy man? There's going to be a mountain going to destroy the world. And he goes past and he brings another two turtles inside. Well, what's going on was the whole time Noah's holding strong and strong and strong under all the intense pressure, and the Bilbo had das, all signs going up and the crazy things that are happening. And he is continuing strong in his das. And Noach remains strong because Baruch Hu saves him and saves also people, all the animals that didn't commit, and they go into the cave, and HaKadosh Baruch Hu takes them away from a world of Bilbo and destroys them, the whole thing. The whole Bria becomes one big Bilbo, back to Toya Vavoy. And then there was a Bilbo in the Metzias of us. That's why it's so Shmuez. It was a meeting idea that it says at that time everything was Mishamash B'Yachad. There was a Bilbo in the Metzias. HaKadosh Baruch Hu Mamish created the Oynish, the fee, everything became a Bilbo. The Mela, everything was held to skelter, and everything became totally destroyed. Noah comes out of the table of Baisai to a new world, a new beginning. And here he goes into this new world, and he has a choice. He worked on himself to affect and not to be affected, to understand that he's now going to be the father of the new generation, and to set it to effect how this world is going to live. But if Noach would learn the lesson, if Noach would understand the point, that the problem that caused this whole effect was there was a Bilbo Hadas, the unclarity of the Seichel. The Seichel became mushka in a total block, a total eclipse of clarity of the or. And now Noach has a choice. I'm going to make the first planting in this new world. That this planting is now going to be to set the tone for this new world. What should I plant? And he plants a vineyard. What's a vineyard wine, Rabbi? What does wine have a koyach to do? You're right, wine is a good cause of simcha, but wine has a koyach to make Bilbo Hadas, to pervert the mind, that a person could become a shikr, a drunkard, where his mind is totally perverted, totally obscured, totally messed up, totally destroyed. So how, if Noach understood the lesson he did, and the Kodesh Baruch had told him, you have to go into the table, you remain steadfast, you remain clear, that's a tzaddik, he still understands what he's here for. You had clarity, Tomim B'das, you remain clear in your mind. You saw what happened to people who had Bilbo. Wouldn't you think that would be, you have to have wine, but this would be the first thing, I would distance myself, I would wait to plant such a thing. I want to show that we have to get back to clarity of das. Wine is made to give simple when a person a little down, true, but it has a factor of shichrus, of bilbul, of perverting the mind, of creating a scenario whereby a guy goes out Friday night to drink. Oh, I should say, I'm sorry, to eat to the Shabbos. Parentheses. Drink. Suda Shabbos. Kasher. Mikveh. He goes out to eat to the Shabbos, and he doesn't remember how to get back to his dorm room. It's not because it's new bacha, but a little bit too much. Yaakov Daniel. And he drank a little bit of new wine. And in the shane a cup of wine. Wine and dine. Chovot Shabbos Kodesh. 16th cup of Chovot Shabbos. The Chovot Pesach. Oh, it's the beginning of, sorry, a little bavulbul. A little bilbul, sorry. I thought it's the 4 cups again. So he walks away from Shudah Shabbos and he doesn't remember who he ate by. He can't practice the Benam Chaveru Shmuez on Sunday. He doesn't remember who he ate by. He narrowed it down to 3 people on that block. He knew he came from that block. But he got drunk. Okay. He woke up the whole neighborhood at 3 in the morning, screaming. But okay. There's always young Arabs on Kippur. So he comes back and he falls into a deep sleep. He's back. He wakes up 2 in the afternoon. He runs to his next Suda. And Nachamo Suda shouted. Next thing he knows is Tuesday afternoon. Sorry, my kids have to sleep in their bed tonight. Oh, I didn't realize I extended my stay. When Shalashudas. That's his Shabbos. He ate, drank, went to sleep. Got up, he ate, drank again, and went to sleep. Very inspiring Shabbos. Chutz from the Shabbos, the boy said he took his moyach, he did something that is his GPS, something that is so important to his function. The Rebbeinu Shalom made an unbelievable zachar. Today, we see it in the world, but everything's in the world, the GPS, and everything is zachar. The ways, a few days ago, I went up north with my wife, and went up north for a day. Beautiful. You had to go to a certain place, plug it in, make a right here, go a left here, go there. You don't know what you did. Baruch Hashem, to get to your destination. If you're going, you don't have your ways. You end up in hotchkotch and lulu. You don't know where to go. The Rebbeinu gave everybody a ways for direction in life. That's the Seichel HaYosha. That everybody was planned. Although I'm Boris, all of Yosha. You created Yosha. So how could it be Rabbi? This is the biggest pellet, Rabbi. Everybody argues about drinking, how good it is, Rabbi. It's drinking, and the Torah says you're supposed to drink on Yom Tov for drink to be simple, not to get drunk. But how could it be, Rabbi, that a guy feels that he needs to drink to a level of drunkenness, Rabbi? It's the most idiotic thing. You're taking the thing that makes you into man. You're taking the thing that makes you be able to function in a proper, ordinary, and right way. And you're taking it and you're involvable in it. You're taking it and you're involvable, you won't be able to think straight. And a person at every stage of life has to think straight. There are things that people did when they perverted their mind, when they affected their mind, it affected their whole lives. They might have punched through a window, they have scars, a bad arm, the whole life from it, because they punched through a window. They might have said something to somebody, but they'll never forgive them for it. They might have done something and hurt people, and who knows what I said. Chas v'sholom, we see two stories of I said. Something happened just recently, and to be a factor. And at that time, you could be thinking of something that could really be good for you, and a Shabbos Suda, a word on Shabbos that has an effect, and you turned your mind off that you're not able to hear because your mind is so bad, it's so messed up and so dark and so cloudy. This is the Yisroel of Isaac. This is the Taina of Noach Vayochel. You have to have wine. The person wants wine in the world, but since you came from Metzias that there was Bilbul Adas. And the Yashina person was messed over because of Bilbul Adas. So this shouldn't be the first thing on your mind. Stay far away. There'll be a time to plant the wine. Right now is the time to stay a little away from things that might be Bilbul. And what happens? His grandson, or his son, I should say. His grandson comes in. His son, his son comes in and does something terrible, and why he has a krumaspara? Well, there's 3 people in the world now. Okay, he had 2 kids, and Chaim and Hevel were 2, and they got into a fight. There's going to be more kids. The world was when he went in and did something terrible to his father. Bilbul Hadas, on Seichel HaYosher, Bilbul Hadas V'Amoyach. Bilbul Hadas looks so far away, son. But that's the Metzias. It was Midah Keneged Midah. Noach got drunk. He was Levat. Midah Keneged Midah. This is a really ridiculous lesson, we have to understand it. In 2 father of us. First of all, this thing, we don't have this problem in Tiferes Chaim here. Guys don't get drunk, they stay with Seichel HaYosher. But to tell it to your friends, we once said over the Rambam, Chassidikim brings the Rambam, and the Rambam says it'd be better to go out and streak. It's the Rambam's Lashon, not mine. Get out, take off all your clothes and run down Paran. Better to do that than to get drunk. That's the Rambam. Not talk to Rambam. It would be better for a person. It would be better. What's the pshat in the Rambam person? Because if a person loses his clothes, it's a busha. If you lost your seichel, it's a busha, but it's not as big as a busha if you lost your seichel. Seichel is what touches you to the person. The seichel is what touches the person. Without your clothes, you're still an adam. You might be a little embarrassing, but you're still an adam. If you devalve your seichel, you've moved the adam from you. You're not a man. You're not a mensch. A mensch is someone with seichel. You've turned to the matzah of animals. So the Rambam says it should be much easier. That's the Rosh Hashanah. Much easier to do that because it's much more of it's much more of a busha. When a person has no clothes on, it's a busha. But he's still a mensch. He still has a seichel. He might be laughed upon in it, but he has a seichel. But if he goes ahead and he says the Rambam, it should be such a biggest busha when a person loses his seichel. You're a man, and now you're acting like an animal, lower than an animal. You're das, you've taken away, and you've involved it. And this goes for anything Rabbi said. Anything that's involved in the seichel Rabbi said. So it's important to tell people in other yeshivas, here we don't have this problem, that you have to understand that before I get anything near wine, or anything that could maybe have any shout to my seichel, to think beforehand, before you get into it, and limit yourself to that cup of wine, or whiskey, 1 shot, don't play around anywhere close to the seichel. But it goes for other things, reading Deus Koizves, getting involved in things, reading books or things or anything, or speaking to people that made that Deus Koizves. Deus Koizves. That's the parsha also. They want to build a migdal. Deus Koizves. Corrupted and perverted minds. Literature that people read today. We're not talking about the things that are chashashama awesome to see, but people read literature, all types of literature, and this literature that they read about all the chashashama things that are not sneers is terrible. But one of the most terrible things that could be is a person also they read literature. That's one of the biggest problems with the internet. Everybody talks about the problems with the internet. Let's rack up one more for them. That anything and everybody can say something and put it on, and you hear it, you listen, you read it, and it goes into your mind, and these things are perverted, are so unclarity, they mavalve your seichel, they make your mind so mavul, things that are so treif and tumah and crazy. My wife just told me, she heard someone told that there was a certain woman that she was very ugly, so she wants to sue her parents now. She was divorced 3 times, so she went to sue her parents. It's so negative Torah, but it's a person Hashem's created, that's the way you created. She's suing her parents because of the genes. So she went to court and she's suing her parents. And I have to say it over base to but to see how perverted it was. She's taking her parents to court but she's so ugly, and she wants to take the good that she said they're responsible for her not being able to have a marriage, hold the marriage down. Take a facelift, lady. But the Rabbi said, at the end of the day, that's corrupt. Parents are parents. You know, today we blame everything on our parents. But the said this to Moshe was saying how the world's going out of that caleb. The mind becomes so corrupt. They think like everything's fakir. Just the opposite. Whatever they think, it's the opposite many times over. So you go and read these things, and you laugh a little bit. It goes into the brain, and you start to think later on. And you see these things, you laugh a little bit about the bar mitzvahs, and then next thing you know, there you are, sitting there, celebrating, singing, the door was poured. Why? Because they say you read on Facebook and this book and that book, you read on this and that, and what's up, people talking about it, let's go, and this and that. And Hashem Yirachim becomes permissive and it becomes good and we get used to it. Why? The Seichel becomes messed up. And Hashem Yirachim, Hashem, one thing we daven, I always say we start off Shemon Esrei, we start off Shemon Esrei. Shemon Esrei is we're begging for everything, we beg for this and beg for that. Okay, but one thing we have, one thing we know we have, that we can know. We have a brain, parsha. No. That's the first bracha. Because if your mind is messed up, it's not worth living. Fuah and parnasa, everything. If the mind is messed up, Rabbi side, it's off course. Shem Yirachem, where are you gonna live? You're gonna go downhill. You're gonna like all these rich people say by the going that they go ahead and they see what type of lives they lead, Rabbi side. With all the money, if the mind is messed up, they live. What type of life do they have? They married and everything's messed up. They're on drugs and they find them suicidal at the end. So what did it help? Because they depressed life because their mind became corrupt and there was no seichel hayashim. Beg Hashem that my mind made clear. But that's from outside influences. But if you put it into yourself, you pour the wine and say, so you're committing suicide yourself. You can't jump off the roof and say, Hashem, save me. Listen, it's a little while up for the Empire State Building, but you can do anything in Parshas. Splat. So you can't drink 50 cups and say, give me say no. You made yourself into a crazy man. Don't play with this. The most important aver in your body. Don't play around with this. You want to play around with your arm a little bit. Chas v'shalom you shouldn't, but chas v'shalom something happens, okay. But not with this, man. Not with this. The brain is the most important thing in your life, save it. That's why it has a big skull. They say when you surgery on the skull, you gotta take a chainsaw to get through it. No, it's encased. It's such a heavy thing, because it's so chashuv. Where do you put that diamond in a safe that you can't cut through it? With a scissor. You put it in a real heavy safe that you can't get through it no matter what. But you put the brain in the skull to protect it so much better. If the guy falls off, chas v'shalom, still the brain is able to. Obviously, you have to be careful. I'm just saying, but that's what we'll later. But the brain remains encased because it's so chashuv. It's something that has a computer that there's no computer in the world like it. With so much clarity and so much ability to see the light and see the emes of us. Don't play with it. We should be zeicher to understand this Yisroel, get clarity of seichel, to see the emes, and to return to the Yosher Shabbat. Be zeicher, the Yisroel will shower us with atah choyne l'adam das. Chonenu de'er avinu ve'ir, de'er avinu ve'askel nidcha. Should be zeicher, understand the Torah, understand our tafni in this world. Seichel, the Rosh, to bring it close to Mashiach and get it.